Hello everyone. Yesterday I got to see the movie Sully, and I'm here to give you is essentially my review, my thoughts on the movie Sully, which is basically a story adaptation of the man Sully. Well, that's his little nickname that he had, and this is the story of like him, how he helped. Well, they really helped, but like he was traveling on his plane as a co-pilot, as essentially the main pilot, played by the always amazing Tom Hanks, and essentially flocking geese flying to the engines, break them, essentially, and essentially it crashes. Well, it's like destined to crash, but he's like, okay, I'm going to crash it into somewhere where maybe more safe than for anyone else, into a lake, which is, I think it's like Michigan. No, into New York's Hudson River. That's it. He crushes it into New York's Hudson River. And essentially, this movie's like almost running, not just the crash itself, but how it builds up, how it is like to build up towards that, and pop, kind of like all the stuff that happens afterwards, and how everyone views him. And that's basically the main story. First things first, this is a film that stars Tom Hanks. And when I saw that alone, I'm like, that's enough for me to say this. Tom Hanks is one of my top 10 favorite actors ever. And he really, once again, gives an A-plus performance, as always. In this movie, he definitely comes across a lot more calm and laid back. I wouldn't say laid back, but he definitely, his performance seems more calm and subdued than anything else. And it seems like he's the type of guy who is just trying to sit back and let everything come crashing onto him. It's like he's that type of character where you don't feel that real sense of urgent, like the real sense of holy shit what's happening at that moment. He's the type of guy who, it seems like he's playing that type of character who, like, it takes a long time for this whole thing to process to you, and how much gratitude and how much wonder goes towards his character, and how he saved like 208 lives, 60 people on a plane, and no one died, and no casualties, and he did it, and it took a vent, and Clint Eastwood, the always amazing director and actor and everything like that, because he's an absolute legend, of course. He's Clint Eastwood, of course, and it takes an event that's really about 3.5 minutes in actuality, in natural reality, and he made it into like a 100 minute long movie. And on one hand, I give credit for what he did there. That's really interesting. But on the other hand, I'm like, is there enough subject material here to make it to a movie? And that's what film can make it or break it. And I think it does that in spades of itself. I feel like there's both a pro and a con to that. I think on one hand, that's a very brave and interesting thing to do, especially for a screenwriting perspective, making a short little moment in history and making it into like a big length movie like Titanic. When you think about it, it was just a boat going across the sea, it crashed, and it fell to the bottom of the sea. But they made that into like a 3 hour epic movie. And same thing with here, although this movie, as good as it is nowhere near the greatness of Titanic. So yeah, but whatever. What is, like I said before, Tom Hanks, fantastic as always. He's great in this movie. He's also great in this movie. Aaron Eckhart is also his co-pilot. He's also really good. I really liked him a lot. He has a really cool type of 80s type of mustache. I don't know. It's kind of the old silly type of porno mustache that he has. It's just, don't know about that mustache. It just made me laugh every time I saw that. To me, I just thought that was quite a funny mustache. What the fuck am I doing? I'm talking about a mustache on my channel. Oh well. And not just that, but that's really good. But I feel like the way they showed with effects wise of how it crashes and all those moments, like you felt like in that certain perspective, is scary, and they do that very, very well. It's also really shot, a beautifully shot movie, even though it has a classic tinted gray blue-gray feel that every modern Clint Eastwood movie has, like Jersey Boys, American Sniper, J. Edgar. It's like, yeah, those movies have done that, but this movie, you can understand that because it's a bit more of a somber mood movie where you feel this burning, like, what have I done? Like, is this good or bad? Type of feeling. Event. So I commend it. At least the color scheming makes sense, I'll say. It really does feel like a big event of a movie. Like, this is a movie experience in the theater. Granted, I didn't get to see this in IMAX. I should have. But, oh well. And it is really good. It's super entertaining. And the way everyone has their own kind of perspective on Sully and how everyone has this kind of like, is he a hero? Like, yes, but there's a lot of controversy. And, like, should he have been driving that in the first place? All that type of classic type of perspective of this main character, type of feeling to it. And I think that's really interesting. I like how that's kind of delivered up. I really, like I said before, really loved the performances in this movie. They were very, very, very good. Directing by Clint Eastwood is great. The screenwriting I thought was ambitious. That's the word. That's the word. Ambitious and interesting is a real undertaking. But you can kind of feel like there's a lot of most really just you're kind of asking like, should this really be so wrong? But then again, it's like there's so much passion and heart behind the film that, you know, you cannot blame for what the filmmakers share for what they've done. It's meticulously well done. And this is a very good movie. I don't know if I will say this is a great movie. That's some of my problems. Number one is it is you kind of do feel a bit of the length, even though it's barely even 2 hours. And it does kind of feel like, okay, there's so much you can drag out here, and it just kind of feels like kind of like that, really. And there's moments where you're kind of like, yeah, all right, when is this? When can I see a crash, or when can I see something exciting happen? There's a lot of dialogue moments, which are well done, but kind of like, but my same problem with the Revenant, I have this. The same problem I had with the dialogue in this movie is the same thing with I had with The Martian, is that they just felt like it bogged everything down. It wasn't that exciting in comparison to what's also going on. And also how the movie bounces back and forth with the crash and how it goes forward and back in time, I thought was a bit too jarring. Okay, granted, it wasn't too much like, here's the main story, go forward and back. It wasn't like that at all. It's actually just of them focusing back and whatever. I thought that was well done. But in the end, for me, I'm like, there's a lot of moments where I just felt myself bored. And as good as this movie is it's not really the most exciting movie of the year. And this is a movie I am no time waiting to see again. It's like the first time I saw this yesterday, I'm just like, oh, that was great. Really well done. Great work, Clint Eastwood. I may not watch this movie ever again, but not for like any heavy reasons, to be honest, but it's because of, you know, my own patience. And I like movies that are a bit more entertaining, for the record. And this is a film that you know that you like, as soon as it's over, you're kind of like, that was good, but I personally am in no big rush to see it again. And that's my thoughts on that as a whole. Also, for what it's worth, granted, it's for the best movie of this weekend. That's not really saying much because there's not much good playing. It kind of feels, you know, I don't know. It just kind of feels, like I said before, it kind of drags, and it's not always that interesting. And granted, the film can only keep your attention for so long, but at a certain point, you kind of toss up your hands to go, what? As good as this is, it could have been great. This could have been Aaron Sorkin type of writing here. It should have been. Instead, it's good. It's good writing. But in the end, Sully was a good movie in my opinion. It was a great theater experience. Will I watch this movie ever again? No. Is it one of my favorites of the year? No. Does it have pacing and writing issues? Yes. But overall, I really did enjoy Sully. And I'm going to give Sully my review as 73%. It's very good. It's almost great. I would say it's almost to the point I would say, is it great? Is it a good movie? I would hesitate not to. but it is good, damn good, and I would recommend Sully for you to check out because it's the only movie this weekend that is actually legit, like, worth checking out. And yeah, that's just my review for Sully, everyone. I do hope you enjoyed it, and more reviews in the future. As always, till then, everyone. I'm Jack Newton, and I'll see you till then. Bye. Peace.